Okay, so we got our nanners all bashed up. Welcome to Mythical Kitchen, where dreams are alone for most of the day.
Today, Josh, Trevor, and I are going to show you how to treat yourselves by making delicious desserts with stuff you have in your pantry.
If you're following along at home, you can snag the time codes right there, and all the written recipes are going to be down in the description below.
Let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. Let's get cooking tonight at 5. Okay, so today we're making no-bake chocolate chip cookies. This is an entire dessert hacks series where we're using whatever we have in the house to create something that'll satisfy your like innate need for sweetness. Because I know like 10 o'clock comes around and like I start crying at the idea that I can't just like go out and get an ice cream cookie sandwich. That sounds sad, I'm fine. We're gonna start by taking softened butter. This is a little past room temperature, so it's like pretty liquidy, but not melted. All the stores were out of brown sugar. I happen to have white sugar and molasses, which are the two ingredients that make up brown sugar. So I just mixed them together and rubbed it with my hands and created my own brown sugar, which is a fun little trick that you can use in your own home. You always want to pack brown sugar when you measure. Look at me actually measuring things. Now you need to whisk it up. Nicole, whisk! All right, cool. So we're just gonna go ahead, mix as hard as you can the brown sugar into the butter, and you should get a nice pasty consistency. And now what you're gonna do, most people use oats when they do it. What I'm gonna be using is breadcrumbs. As you see, these are not even normal breadcrumbs because the store, the entire baking section was gutted. And so I have Osem, an Israeli brand, home-style breadcrumbs, and then Manischewitz gluten-free matzah meal, perfect for any celiac Jew in your life. We're gonna do ½ cup of each. You can use any breadcrumbs you have. If you have panko breadcrumbs, use that. If you have the normal progressive breadcrumbs, use that. Do not use Italian style breadcrumbs because I tried that yesterday. There is way more garlic in those things than I remembered. 2 tablespoons of milk. So the way this works, well, ruh-roh, the breadcrumbs are gonna start to soak up the milk, and then the sugar and the slightly warmed butter is going to bind everything together. And when that butter cools, it's actually gonna form into a solid cookie in the fridge. So you can just get your hands in there and mash at it a little bit. You can also make your own breadcrumbs if you don't have any breadcrumbs at home. If you have like old stale bread, you can just go ahead and toast that at about 250 degrees for like an hour, hour and a half until it gets completely dried. And then you're just gonna take a knife and you're gonna chop the heck out of it until it is, completely crummy. Now we're gonna take chocolate chips. The store did not have normal chocolate chips. These are sugar-free chocolate chips. They have an ingredient called erythritol in this. It's the same ingredient in the Haribo sugar-free gummies that makes people poo their pants on airplanes and not in airplanes. If you're sensitive to erythritol, don't use them. Maybe use normal chocolate chips. But I'm gonna dump these right into this dough. As the dough sits, you're actually gonna feel it hydrate more and more. All right, these are looking great. You're just gonna grab like a little baking sheet to let things hang out on. All right, so look at that. You can see like it looks like a chocolate chip cookie, and you're just gonna take that and then pop it right onto a baking sheet. This should make about 5 cookies. Maybe let's take some additional chocolate chips. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at this. This is like if Martha Stewart were just like live tweeting the apocalypse. And we're just gonna dot one more beautiful little chocolate chip right there. Oh, the kids are gonna love this. I don't know if you guys follow Ina Garten. She just made herself like a gigantic, what's the Cosmo? But she's just been like getting absolute rip hammered in her house by herself, and it's hilarious. I should know what a Cosmo is on account of I'm on season 3 of Sex and the City now. Speaking of which, so Carrie started dating younger guys, played by Timothy Olyphant, one of my top 6 favorite Timothy Olyphant roles of all time. After The Girl Next Door, of course. All right, so while we're forming these cookies and while these set up in the fridge,
Milkshake to dunk.
Don't tell me what I'm gonna do. Just let me perform.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I need to get in my headspace now. Cut my All right, so we're forming these cookies, and while they set up, I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a delicious ice creamless milkshake with whatever you got in the house. But before that, Nicole is gonna make a super awesome and easy chocolate chip peanut butter mug cake. That does sound good. I'll have 2, Nicole. I'll see you in like a month or something.
I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a really, really easy recipe. It's called a mug cake, but you don't need to use your oven, you don't need to use your stove. All you need is your handy dandy microwave. I'm going to make a peanut butter chocolate chip recipe, but as long as you get the base, which is what I'm gonna teach you first, once you get that stuff down, you can add whatever you want to it. You can add cocoa powder, you can add fresh fruit, you can put whatever you want in there, and it's really, really easy. I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of flour, and I'm just gonna take a little pinch of salt. And then I'm going to take a tablespoon of oil. You can use whatever oil you got. 2 large tablespoons of sugar. 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. Whisk that up and you pretty much have a mug cake. But no, we're not gonna stop there. We have peanut butter, chunky, which is my favorite. And then we're also gonna add some chocolate chips in there too. So a hefty spoonful. I'm just gonna finish this. Beautiful. I'm gonna add some milk. Yeah, look at that. And you have the option of adding an egg yolk because that'll make a really, really fluffy, beautiful batter. But if you don't have an egg, don't worry about it. You don't need it. My final step, I need some chocolate chips. Hey Josh, can you give me some chocolate chips, please?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Thank you. So I'm just gonna give it one final mix, make sure all of the chocolate chips are firmly planted inside. I'm gonna shake off any sort of excess, kind of level it out a little bit, and then I'm gonna pop it in the oven for like, this isn't an oven, this is a microwave, silly girl. I'm gonna put this in the microwave for like a minute and I'm gonna check it. If it's still kind of raw in the middle, I'm gonna leave it in for another 30 seconds. And then if it's still raw, another 30 seconds and just keep going until I get like the perfect spongy cake consistency. Follow me on this journey. Ooh, it's steamy. It kind of looks like pudding, low-key. Like cooked pudding, look. Can you see that? Okay, fantastic. I'm going to add a hefty spoonful of some IKEA jam. Josh gave this to me as a present. So I'm gonna take a spoonful of jam, put that on top. Let me grab some chocolate chips from the ground. Okay, there you have it. This is peanut butter chocolate chip mug cake. Oh, should I eat it? I don't wanna burn my mouth. That is delicious, yo. It tastes like a peanut butter sandwich, like, you know, PB&J, but like in cake form. You guys should make this immediately. Next up is Trevor. He's gonna show you how to make his dessert. Sorry, peanut butter inside of me. Okay. Hey, Trevor, why don't you show the people at home how to make some of whatever you're making? Don't know what it is. Ryan, I'm sorry, what was the line? Hey, Trevor, teach these people how to make cinnamon toast buttercream cake.
Today we're gonna be making the most bootleg buttercream cake ever. So we're gonna start with 1/2 cup of butter, which is usually 1 stick. I don't know, sometimes sticks of butter can be unreliable. I've seen some very small sticks in my days. I've also seen some very large sticks. 1 minute, that seems like a good amount of time. Got a 1/2 cup of melted butter, a bag of brown sugar that's soon to be open. I did also just put on some coconut body butter, so my hands are extra smooth, soft, and supple, but that does not lend itself to opening bags well. Just gonna squeeze it out like moon sand. It's gonna go in with the melted butter. And then also I'm gonna take 1/2 cup of regular pure cane sugar. I was so excited when we decided to do this dessert hack video because I'm the freaking king of dessert hacks. Oh, it's like right up my alley. I live for this. So a teaspoon of cinnamon, all that's going in with the melted butter. You wanna give it a good whisk. It might take a second for the butter to combine with the sugar. So this is gonna go on pretty much every part of this cake. So we're taking a cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. If 1 stick is a 1/2 cup, then 2 makes 1 cup, and that's called quick maths. I'm just gonna start trying to soften this and paddle it and get it kind of smooth in the bowl. I'm trying to get it as soft as possible. I left mine out of the fridge for just a couple hours until it's soft enough to work with, but not to the point where it's like melting it all in the bowl. So now the butter's kind of smooth and soft in the bottom of the bowl, I'm gonna add some powdered sugar. When I make buttercream, I never really use a recipe. I find that it really just depends. So I'd like to just add powdered sugar as I go. Usually 1 cup of butter to 3 cups of powdered sugar is a pretty good ratio. All right, this is looking good. I think I wanna add some milk to it just so that it loosens up and comes together better. So, hey Josh, could I get a splash of milk?
Yeah, I got you, man. Say when. I can't hear you. My neighbor's a dubstep DJ. He's really good though. Like not the like wah wah, but more like the yeah.
Josh, you managed to hit every single part of my counter and every ingredient except the bowl. All right, it's actually come together very nicely, very smooth. I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla because vanilla flavoring is magnificent. Just a splash. Also, because this is a cinnamon bootleg cake, I'm going to add a little bit of that cinnamon schmear that we made earlier. That's gonna go on everything. Little dash just to give this a little bit of cinnamon flavor. And then this is gonna go between the layers of bread on our cake. One of my favorite struggle sweet snacks, as I like to call them, is just taking a slice of any type of bread, literally any bread that you have in your home works for this, and then putting butter and cinnamon and sugar on it. So I'm just gonna take some cinnamon schmear, and I've got my oven set to broil right now, so it is nice and hot, and I'm just gonna spread some of that cinnamon on each of these slices of bread, and then that is gonna go in the oven and it is gonna get beautiful and crispy. It's gonna make our cake. It's the cake, the bread is the cake. And I'm gonna pop these in the oven. Really I like a little bit crispier, so I'm gonna go about 5 to 7 minutes. You toast it for as long as you want your bread crunch. All right, let's get that toast out of the oven. It's looking crispy around the edges, just the way that I like it. The cinnamon schmear is bubbling. Oh, it smells so good. I'm gonna refrain from just eating a piece of this right now as much as I want to. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. All right, so while this cools, I'm gonna get to work on the second frosting that's going on this cake. That's right, there are 2 frostings. The bow tar is melted. Thankfully, I was able to scrape up a little bit of milk. So I'm at about 3 tablespoons of that. About 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla, depending on how much you like. I'm a vanilla person, so I'm gonna go 2 teaspoons. 2 cups of powdered sugar are gonna be going in here. And then you're just gonna whisk it all together till it's nice and smooth. I'm surprised for how much powdered sugar that I've used today. I've kept things relatively clean. So I'm gonna whisk this together slowly. Right after I said I was staying clean, I'm no longer, that's how it works. I'm gonna take some of that cinnamon mixture and I'm just gonna jump it in here. You gotta have cinnamon in literally every part of this. Look at the drizzle action happening. I'm so excited. I think it's time to assemble our cake. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take 1 slice of bread, the first, the base, smear that baby with buttercream. Do however much you like, whatever your heart desires. Second piece, smear time. Layer it on top. Third piece, smear time. And then the last piece, no smear, we're gonna lay it on top. So we've got the 4 layers, and now it's glazing time. And I'm just gonna go for the pour. Honestly, it feels like the right move. Oh yeah. That is so unhealthy. There's so much, literally every component of this is just sugar and butter and cinnamon. Get ready for this. Nutmeg. A nice sprinkle of nutmeg on top. Obviously we gotta finish it with some cinnamon too. It's like sprinkles, but spice form. What is this? Look at this abomination. It's like a sandwich. I could pick this up and eat it like a sandwich. Oh my God. It's like an explosion of sweetness and flavor. Actually, the nutmeg on top is doing so much for me right now. The bread as a substitute for cake is not that bad. I found that the more sugar and butter you put on something, the less it tastes like what it originally was. Oh my God. Well, while I continue to engorge myself on this abomination, let's see how Josh is gonna make an ice creamless milkshake.
You may not have ice cream in the house, in which case sucks to suck. I actually don't either, but I'm gonna teach you how to make an ice creamless milkshake. We're gonna take an indefinite amount of whole milk. Let's call it 12 ounces. Your guess is as good as mine. As much sugar as you're comfortable with, but you want it to be pretty sweet. The way I think about it, ice cream is just milk and sugar. If you were to take that and churn it, it would eventually become ice cream. So we've made ice cream, all we need is something frozen. I always keep a sack of nanners in my freezer at all times. Problem is they all stick together, so you gotta bash your nanners. Okay, you probably want about 1 whole banana. There's a lot of starch in a banana, which means it's gonna add a lot of thickness. Oh God. Check it out, this is how I got entrance to the kumite. Bloodsport. He smashes, he goes, yeah, in only the bottom brick, and then they're like, All right, so you're gonna keep adding your frozen nanners. So cocoa powder doesn't taste like much by itself. When you add it to all the sugar in the nanners, it's gonna be really delicious. You don't gotta use nanners, you can use avocado. Heck, you can just throw ice in there if you want to. We're going a nice little chocolate nanner milkshake. So my blender's not plugged in, and it doesn't reach the thing. And the only extension cord I have in my house is hooked up to the light. Okay, well, I hope the blender's not on. And blend it up! That's a thick nanner! Now that's what I call a thick nanner. We're gonna pour this into a glass. You're gonna get the cookies that have been setting in the fridge out, and then we're gonna dunk and enjoy. at 5. Look how thick. I mean, honestly, this is a milkshake and it is just bananas, milk, and sugar. Uh-oh. Oh, that's good. I'm just gonna kind of stack them up like cookies. And I'm gonna take one for myself. All I'm gonna do is dunk it in that milkshake. This is gonna be, oh man. I mean, they're super chewy. They're really dense, packed full of flavor, nice and salty. Everything you want for a chocolate chip cookie. If you don't have breadcrumbs, throw anything in there. I honestly thought about using ramen noodles, but didn't.
Thank you for joining us in the Mythical Kitchen.
Drop me a line in the comments. Let me know what other mythical dishes you want to see next time. Hit us up on Instagram at Mythical Kitchen with pictures of your sweet quarantine food with hashtag dreams become food.
We'll see you next time.
You can cook up your own feast while wearing the Mythical Kitchen apron, available now at mythical.com.